What's up, everybody? It's Meth Around. Out today on my Ninja 650. She's a little dirty. She's been in the garage all winter. Been riding some of the other bikes. So it's warming up today. I feel like I can get out on the 650. She just feels like her tires need the road to be a little bit warmer to really grip. So I'm out here gonna run some errands. Taking the long way to them, of course. So yeah, let's get to it. Don't really have a lot going on today. Just kind of want to address that I do want to start kind of creating content. I don't know if motovlogs are the way, short form content like I did at the end of last season. I do have one other long form video, and it was literally just me forcing myself to make something. So if you want to create something like it, that's the first step. You got to make yourself make it. Your first thing, it's not going to be great more than likely. Your first 100 things may not be great, but if you keep with it, you'll build an audience and you'll be great. So this is me trying to keep with it. I've recently crossed paths with Gromsky. I will have his channel link down below. And just seeing him put out content has made me be inspired to do it myself. So I'm out here today on my 650. I was rearranging the garage. I don't know how much 650 content I'll make. This is one of well, there's 8 current motorcycles in my garage, 5 motorcycles that I ride. So I'll go smallest to largest. I've got my mini moto, my Kawasaki Z125. I've got my KLX 300 dual sport. I've got my DRZ 400 supermoto. I have this, my Ninja 650, and then I've got my Yamaha Super Tenere 1200 adventure bike. So just depending on what I'm doing, I could be out on any of those things. And Mrs. Meth Around, my wife, has her own Kawasaki Z125, and she also has a KLX 230 dual sport. So we're gonna try to do some dual sporty stuff this year. We're both kind of new to that, so that'll be interesting. Might have some content to that, unless it's way too embarrassing. And then you might say that's only 7 bikes, but I also have a project bike that maybe by the time this video sees the light of day will be sold, and that is my 1983 Yamaha Virago XV500. It's running again finally, but with a garage full of bikes, it's just not going to get the love and attention it deserves. So now that I've got it running, got new tires on it, you know, it's ready for its next adventure. Somebody to put the finishing touches on it and get it out on the road. You might also realize from all those bikes, besides the Super Tenere 1200, they're all smaller bikes. None of them are fast bikes. The Super Tenere and the Ninja 650 probably have about the same top speed, even though the Super Tenere has about 40 more horsepower. But it's a torquey adventure bike. It's not a leader bike or a super sport. Not a big fan of super sports for myself, because I don't do a lot of track. I feel like that's where a super sport's really at home if you're going to do some track days, or if you're going to spend the money to set it up to stunt. But I'm not great at stunting, even though I do like to dabble, but that's what my DRZ 400 Supermoto is for. So I've got some short form content on, I think, both YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels, if you wanted to check that out. See my awful stunting on that DRZ. Okay, sorry for that random cut there. This Subaru just cut out in front of me here. But I'm sure most of the people watching this video right now are people that I know personally that are watching this out of pity or to find a reason to make fun of me. Both of those are fine reasons. But if you're one of those people, or even somebody just organically came across me, or you were suggested by somebody I know, let me know what type of riding, you know, you personally like to see. Do you want to see just mini moto content and a bunch of small bikes mobbing around the city or the back roads? Do you want to see stunt content from the stunt lot, like, you know, me failing and other, you know, just thriving there at the lot? You know, dual sport content. You know, what brings you to this video to watch this and actually be interested? So let me know down below. Help me direct. As you know, said earlier in the video, I've got several bikes. I got a lot of content I can make. Can't promise that I'll make that content, because if it's not something that interests me, I'm just not going to do it. Now this bike is, I think, out of the 5 that I ride consistently, the bike I love the absolute most, but I think I actually get out and ride the least. I don't have a lot of friends that ride, you know, middleweight, parallel twin kind of bikes. So if I'm going to be riding with, you know, guys on mini motos, I'm out on my mini. If I'm going to be out with the guys doing day-long trips, I'm going to be on my Super Tenere, because I've got all the luggage on it to, you know, hold my stuff for the day and repair things, you know, zip ties, tire plug kit, all that fun stuff, because you don't want to be stranded real far from home. So when I ride this bike, I'm usually out solo, but I absolutely love it. I think the Ninja 650 is a great all-arounder for the area I live in. I don't, you know, I do take this bike on the interstate to get point A to point B occasionally, but I'm not the type of guy that's out there just, you know, ripping straight lines on the interstate to go fast for the sake of going fast. I'm more likely to go out and hit the twisties and, you know, still speeding there, allegedly. You know, still getting spirited on the twisties, but, you know, my tires wear more evenly since I'm, you know, not just going on a straight line. Alright, like I said, we are taking the long way to where we're going. They're doing construction up here, and there are some things I want to check out. Just out exploring, trying to see what's new and what's going on. A roundabout with a stop sign in it. That's great. I feel like 650 is a great platform to start out on for anybody that, you know, might be a little bit taller or bigger of a person than a 400 could support. I'm not. I'm a teeny tiny little guy, but I got a good deal on the 650 and threw it in my garage. That's kind of the story with just about all of my bikes. It's got plenty of torque for anything I want to do. I do mainly do just, you know, 55 mile an hour or slower roads, because I'm hitting back roads and stuff. It does great on the interstate. If I'm doing a lot of interstate, I prefer the Tenere, just because I've got electronic cruise control on it, but this handles the interstate just fine. It handles commuting traffic, stop and go, just fine. So I just feel like it strikes a perfect balance between power and usability. Although I'd say the 400 platforms out there, Ninja 400, Z400, I know the R3 and MT03 are like 300cc bikes. I consider them in that same platform. I think that's an amazing platform. That's enough bike for 75% of people out there. And you move up to like the Ninja 650 or GSX-S 8S or the 8R, R7. Those are the same class as the Ninja 650 here, even though those other bikes have more displacement, bigger engine, you know, more horsepower. They're in the same class. They're within a stone's throw of the Ninja 650, and that is a great segment for motorcycles. And all of those minus, well, I don't know how the 8R and the R7 sit, but like the Ninja 650, Z650, you know, a lot of those bikes, they have the better upright seating, so you're not leaned forward, putting all that pressure on your hips and wrist. So let me do my first errand here, and we'll pick this up in a minute. So here she is, the 650 in all of her glory. So cannot take credit for the paint job. The previous owner did that, but it is unique. It does stand out. So let's continue on this adventure. So yeah, if you're debating a bike, or if you've got a bike and not sure you like what you've got, I definitely think parallel twin 650 to 800cc is a great place to be. Although the 300, 400 twin segment is also really great. Again, for most people, it's perfectly fine for what you want to get out and do. Now, if you want to be out and you want to stunt, or if you want to do a lot of other things, that's going to make a difference. For the Ninja, not a great bike for stunting. You got a lot of plastics that can break, but you could do the Z650. You can buy stunt cages for both. I don't have stunt cages. I just have my frame sliders for, you know, the inevitable. I mean, there are better bikes for stunting. ZX6R, the 600cc class. You throw a bigger sprocket on the rear end, it kills your top end, but that bike will pop right up. You see it all the time with people. Great stunt bike. Or if you're going to set it up for track, the 600 or 1000cc, great bikes for track. They're just, anybody I know of that has them, minus one person, says that they're super uncomfortable for. Hey, there's a bike buddy right there. I'm not going to try to catch him, but maybe he is also going towards Rabbit Hash, which I think is where I'm going to meander to. And yes, I am just now realizing the stupidity of my other long-form video, where the wife and I went out to Rabbit Hash, and now I'm going to Rabbit Hash again, a completely different way, albeit. I promise I do ride more places. Just Rabbit Hash is usually the safe bet ride. Gives me some curvy roads to hit. So it's another hazard of 536 out here. There are sections where the pavement's broken, but as you've seen, you don't just get some curves, you get elevation changes, you get great views. My other video where we go to Rabbit Hash is called the Beginner Friendly, and yeah, there's some curves, but it is not as intensive a route as this is. This is, of course, you know, part of riding on public roadways. Occasionally you get a car that's in front of you that is not going the speed you want to go, but it's alright. We all share the road, because although we don't get it this time, we may get it next time, you know? Might get that nice wide open road. kind of, as I should not be, keeping pace with this guy. But he's going a little bit faster than we should down this. It's blind, it's a two-way street. And he is currently on the correct side of the road, but he's taking some of these turns kind of wide. So if you come down through here, stay on your side of the road, keep a little bit slower of a pace. I've seen cars coming down the wrong side of the road, cutting turns, things like that. As long as you're far enough on your side of the road and keeping a good speed, you should be fine. Case in point, got a car right here. You can see how much of the road they take, even though they're all the way over there. A lot of cars here today, a handful of bikes, dog in the road, but that is par for the course for Rabbit Hash because the mayor is a dog. We got a bunch of Harleys, Hayabusa, Pan America. After a short break and a battery swap, we're gonna loop back through Rabbit Hash here and then take a more direct path back home. Maybe stop for some gas. Alright, after a short break and a battery swap, I'm gonna drive back to Rabbit Hash here. Maybe go get some gas. So you can see just a lot of people meeting up on bikes, a lot of cars here. See some neat stuff when you come out here. A lot of Harleys, but you know, they're the guys that hang around more. Sport bike guys, ADV guys. Kind of stop in, take in the view, and then head out, just like I did. So going back up this road here. I'm gonna take it easy, just because it's narrow, it's curvy, it's blind. Gives you more time to take in the views as well. I will say, coming through here at dusk, I have had deer run out in front of me as well. I know the whole motovlog, depending on how I edit it, it's kind of scatterbrained. But mainly, I'm getting out here, I'm making content. If you want to get out and make content, you should as well. Unless I have anything else to say, I think we'll cut the audio here. And for the outro, we'll probably just have some highlights of my ride home.